What's good? What's good, everyone? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Isaac Sama here. Uh, got another one on the yoking. I wanted to start off by saying that I am going to continue my parts on uh, Joseph, Israel's son. I'm going to finish out his story, but today I'm going to take it away from there for a moment because of a few streams that have happened that I have to thank Zero, Mr. Fantastic for. Um, some things that got brought up there that I felt need to be addressed today, which is why I have the topic of spiritual welfare. Uh, niggas want bondage. They pretty much want to be in bondage. They do not want to get out of it. They want to be bound to the things that have created the environment that we have today. Um, so today, I will be reading. Today will be for this study. Today we'll be going into Exodus chapter 16, verses 1 through 5, and verses 8 through 20, to show how Black people want bondage because they refuse to put forth effort into worthwhile causes. I will be reading from the uh, amplified version of the Bible, um, but I'll give time for everyone to go there, and then I need to actually like. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to hit the like button and share and subscribe if you haven't. Salute, Blaze. Salute, salute, salute. Peace to you, brother. Um, all right. I think I've given just about everyone enough time to get there. So I'll start off. Exodus 16, verse 1. They set out from Elim, and all the congregation of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after they left the land of Egypt. The whole congregation of the Israelites grew discontented and murmured and rebelled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the Israelites said to them, would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat and ate bread until we were full. For you have brought us out of this wilderness to kill this entire assembly with hunger. I'm going to stop here for a minute because to enlighten some people. Understand Israel's rebellious behavior, it is important to grasp the contrast between life in Egypt and nomadic life in the wilderness. Despite the hardships of slavery, survival was not an issue in Egypt. They were guaranteed food and other necessities, but the desert wilderness was hostile and unforgiving, and survival was an art. Desert nomads needed to understand the wilderness in order to stay alive. They had to learn, meaning they had to put forth effort into learning how to survive and do what they needed to do to be able to survive and have food and nourishment for their bodies to be plentiful. Respect, Wagner. Thanks for coming out today. They had to learn, among other things, how to protect themselves from the weather, where to find water and pasture, and how to find and prepare scarce food or live primarily from what their livestock could provide them. So the Israelites viewed every new problem they faced as life-threatening. Instead of looking back and taking comfort from God's earlier miracles, they doubted God's ability and willingness to help them. Their fears and doubts subsequently came to be expressed as irrational anger towards Moses. So this right here pretty much goes to show why I came up with the title that I came up with spiritual welfare. Because of the simple fact, these people, the people that are on welfare, that want something for no effort in their actual practical everyday lives, these are the same people that are on spiritual welfare ideas too. They want everything provided for them without putting forth any effort. This is something that is common in Black America. It's something that's it goes to show it's common in America in the culture, period. But it is widely accepted and viewed as the way to be. We know in Black America. Now pick back up here on verse 4. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will cause bread to rain from heaven for you. The people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, so that I may test them to determine whether or not they will walk obediently in my instruction or law," basically. And it shall be it shall be that on the 6th day they shall prepare to bring in twice as much as they gather daily, so they will not need to gather on the 7th day. So basically, here, according to tradition, the 7th day is a day of rest. So they were to bring in bread, which is actually it's manna. It's a particular type of food that they were get. Well, later is manna, but anything. But bread here is just food in general. They are to gather enough food that whenever it comes to the 6th day, the only thing they'll have enough water and everything like that that they're to eat it. So when it comes to the 7th day, which is supposed to be a day of rest, and it's supposed to be dedicated to thanking everything that God has done. It's ritualistic, a part of the culture, a part of the religion to rest and just enjoy and be thankful of what you've had these other days. So that's why they're together everything on the 6th day, bringing twice as much. So they will not need to do anything on the 7th day, but what they're supposed to do, which is rest and be appreciative of what they've gotten so far. Now, be skipping to verses 8 through 20 here. Moses said, "This will happen when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening and in the morning, enough bread to be fully satisfied, because the Lord has heard your murmurings against him. For what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord." Then Moses said to Aaron, "Say to all the congregation of Israel, approach the Lord, because he has heard your murmurings." So it happened that as Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of Israel, they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory and brilliance of the Lord appeared in the cloud. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "I have heard the murmurings of the Israelites. Speak to them, saying, at twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God." So in the evening the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning there was a blanket of dew around the camp. When the layer of dew evaporated on the surface of the wilderness, there was a fine flake-like thing, as fine as frost on the ground. When the Israelites saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. This is what the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather as much of it as he needs. Take an omer," which an omer is estimated to be a little over 2 quarts, "for each person, according to the number of people you have, the people each of you has in his tent." The Israelites did so, and some gathered much of it, and some only a little. When they measured it with an omer, he who had gathered a large amount had no excess, and he who had gathered little had no lack. Every man gathered according to his need, basically the size of their family. Moses said, "Let none of it be left overnight until the next morning." And here's the interesting part to take to basically remember on verse 20. "But they did not listen to Moses, and some left a supply of it until morning, and it bred worms and became foul and rotten, and Moses was angry with them." So you see here, they're very hard-headed, stubborn. They want to leave some so they wouldn't have to gather anymore, out of laziness. But here's the thing: this manna that was provided for them to eat at night, even though they had meat to be able to stay over to eat in the morning, this manna they gathered at night, they tried to be stupid, arrogant, selfish, ignorant. They tried to save it over when Moses told them eat all of it, but they didn't, and it bred worms and other maggots to feast on it. It just goes to show how this relates to our culture in Black America. It goes to show how it relates to the culture of America, period, as far as a majority. This laziness, trying to take shortcuts. No, it doesn't work. Even God, it shows here that God even requires you to work. The work allows you to appreciate what you have. Yes, Omega, disobedience. Yeah, exactly. That's what he said. He said, eat the whole damn thing. Disobedience. And so now, it's going to go bad anyway. So you might as well eat it all. That's the thing. Why waste? But instead of doing what they're supposed to do, they don't do it. So exactly, Black Girls. Lack of compliance, lack of drive to work. That's it. Because God requires of you to put in some effort so you can actually appreciate the benefits of the harvest. I mean, it's like it's like if you got kids, it'd be like giving that child a brand new freaking Ferrari. In a couple weeks, that doggone Ferrari is going to be tore up because of the simple fact they don't have an appreciation for it because they did not earn it. It goes to show how the Israelites are like children, and it goes to show the similarities of the culture here that we have with their similarities. They would rather be back in slavery, in bondage, where they were given just enough. and notice the key adjective. The key verb there was given just enough to be able to survive. They would rather do that than actually be free to go out and work for it and earn what they need to survive, to have to learn how to survive off the land, how to survive with what's out there in the world for them to be able to create a much better life, but they would rather be in bondage. That's why, I picked the thumbnail pick for the old food stamps. I know a lot of people remember that. I got 23 people in here watching, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate y'all for coming through and supporting the channel and the content. Peace to all of y'all. But yeah, like I said, I want to make this channel. I wanted to make topics like this, and thanks, Nick Penn, for subscribing. I want to make topics like this to show how the culture, how impractical it is. I wanted to show how the information that's in this Bible, in this book, can be used to apply to your everyday life. The simple fact is, this information, if you can't apply it to your everyday life, what good is it? But we know how these jackleg preachers, as I like to call them, prosperity pastors, whatever you want to say, and even not even prosperity, just regular everyday ones, they don't point these things out. They want to keep you in this emotional welfare state of mind, spiritually, as well as in your everyday life. You have to earn this. God requires you to work to show who you are. There is no fence sitting. Either you are with him and your actions, your track record shows it, or it doesn't. And you know what happens there. You are an enemy. Exactly. Racking up spiritual debt. Omega Dreads. Exactly. Yes, and youngster, thanks. Peace to you. Yeah, I wanted this. I used this for my profile picture because, for one, for me, I didn't care about camming up because of the simple fact what I have to bring is all about the message and the knowledge and how we can apply it to our everyday lives. Um, so I chose to go with this picture because of the simple fact he's my favorite character in Bleach, which is my favorite anime, and also um, to me, I think he's the best villain ever created. Um, I think only Palpatine, from what I've read and what I've read in the books, is second to him. But anyways, I knew that what I say, I would be viewed as the bad guy, as the villain. So why not be my favorite? Who happens to be very intelligent, very meticulous in how he plots out everything, and oh, okay, I will do it. I will do it, man. Tomorrow, I'll email you the link to the panel. But I'm going to shut this down, and then we'll have the barbershop talk on it, and here in about 4 minutes. But thank you guys for coming out. Don't forget to like on the way out. Don't forget if you haven't subscribed and you like this content, subscribe. But that's all I got at this time, fellas. Appreciate it. Thanks, Zone. Yeah, thank you, Signature. I will embrace the power. My guy. Thanks, Zone. Thanks everyone for coming out. And I'll be starting up here in about 4 minutes with my other content with the barbershop talk on it. Peace, everyone, and I'm out.